Fuck it.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Hey, mama. If you are a mom and are tired of the wash, rinse, repeat burnout cycle of motherhood, this podcast is for you. If you feel lonely and isolated in your motherhood journey, this podcast is for you. If you feel like you have completely lost your identity since your babies were born, this podcast is for you. If you feel like every other mom has it together except for you, this podcast is for you. My name is Amanda, and I'm a life coach dedicated to teaching every mom the tools she needs to liberate herself off the back burner. I am living proof that a woman can be present and loving to her kids while also being a whole ass person outside of being that kid's mom. The secret? Learning when to say fuck it. Hello. I am so excited to talk about the Barbie movie because I just saw it last night by myself without any of my children, like good moms do. And it was so good. But I'm also so excited because I just got off a check-in call with one of my previous clients, and she's doing so well. I'm so proud of my client. She came to me because she was having seizures from stress. Like, she was so stressed out that she was giving herself seizures. And I only worked with her for 3 months. And our last session was almost 2 months ago, and she's only had one seizure since then. Like, what? So she got the transformation that she came for in 3 months, which is ridiculous because it's a really short amount of time. And she's maintaining it on her own. She is maintaining it on her own. This shit works. This is like the biggest high, you guys. This is why I do what I do. This high feels so much better than when I sign a client and I'm getting money. Like, money can't touch this feeling of happiness, and just, it's more than happiness. What is it? It's making a difference in the world. It's making a difference in someone's life, like a tangible difference that she is maintaining. So if you, my dear listener, my dear mama, my dear whoever you are listening to this, if you are putting off your transformation, I want to ask why. Why would you put that off? Why would you not want to be happy now, to decrease your stress levels now, to put boundaries up with your kids so that you're not pulling your hair out every single day? You will still pull your hair out from time to time, okay? Coaching does not exempt anybody from the human experience. It will still be 50-50, but you will learn how to feel your negative feelings instead of letting them rule you. Why are you putting that off? Sign up now for a consultation, because this shit changes lives. And this is why I do this. And this feels so good. And I want everybody to feel this way. So, the Barbie movie. I'm going to give you guys a warning right now. This has spoilers in it. I am here to talk about what was in the film, all of the symbols and messages that were in the film. So if you haven't seen it yet, stop the podcast now, go see it. I want you to have your own opinion about the movie, not filter your experience with my opinion, because that's not what we're about here. So that's your warning. If you haven't seen it, go see it. There were so many things that I loved about this movie. This podcast might be 5 hours long, just me talking about all the things that I loved about this movie. It won't be 5 hours long, I promise. But just, it came like straight out the gate, just came out with a bang. Helen Mirren as the narrator. Are you fucking kidding me? Yes, Helen Mirren. I loved the opening scene of the little girls playing with their baby dolls before Barbie existed. And the line was, girls could only pretend to be mothers. And then there was Barbie. And the play became about not what the little girl could do for her doll, not about teaching the little girl how to anticipate needs for other people, but it was a doll of a woman she could become. What woman are you going to become, little girl? Here's a Barbie. You can change her clothes. She has a bunch of different professions. Barbie has been a doctor. She has been a surfer. She's been a fucking mermaid because she wanted to be. She's been an astronaut. She's been a teacher. She's been a mom. She's been a vet. She's been everything. And that's how the movie started. Just explaining that shift in play for little girls once Barbie came into the picture. It was no longer about, here's a doll for you to take care of, for you to practice on, because this is what you're going to do with your life. And then Barbie came and asked the question, what do you want to do with your life? Let's play and figure it out. The set design and costumes. Come on. Oh my God, the set design was amazing. All the different Barbie dream houses, but like life-size Barbie dream houses, and how the ocean was like flat, how Barbie like moved out of her house. Like she just was at the top level and then she just floated down because, someone was holding her. There were so many nuggets that took me back to when I was a little girl playing with Barbies and being like, I see what you're doing. Thank you. I feel seen. The costumes, all of the throwback Barbie classic like outfits. Oh, okay. First of all, I should have started with this. I was a Barbie kid. I collected some of the special edition Barbies. As a kid, I just left them in her box because I didn't want her to get messed up. I did really love Barbie. I loved her fashion. And so to see all of those old school fashion pieces replicated and in real life sizes and stuff, I was totally geeking out. I was geeking out just on the costumes and the hair alone and the set design. Oh my gosh, it was so great. They had all of the throwback Barbies. Okay. And they had some Barbies that I didn't even remember, like Alan. Poor Alan. And Midge. Okay. Do you guys remember the Barbie that was pregnant? She had a detachable pregnant belly with actual little mini baby Barbies that would go in her belly. I had those. I had 3 midges. My sister and I loved playing with our midge Barbies because it was just fascinating of the whole experience that our bodies go through of having these tiny humans inside, and then they come out and our stomachs don't just bounce back to normal. Fuck you, Barbie. But I was so happy to see Midge again because they don't sell her anymore. I guess people thought she was creepy. I don't know. I liked her. I thought she was fun. Lizzo's song. I love Lizzo. Lizzo is my fucking spirit animal. And so to hear her do an original song for the movie, everything, just everything from the very start of the movie. It was brilliant to me. So the movie was playing with this idea that Barbie's life was perfect on the outside. She had everything she could ever want. She had all of the clothes. She had all of the friends. She woke up and she did, whatever she wanted during the day. And she had her dream house and her dream car and her dream guy who she couldn't stand because Ken was made for her by someone else. And this whole life that she had that looked so perfect, it was a life that someone else created for her with the best of intentions. But it wasn't a life that she chose on purpose, that she created for herself. And it was, the movie was just her waking up from that. And isn't that all of our lives, ladies? I know it was mine. I did everything that I thought I was supposed to do, and I had the life I thought I was supposed to have, and I was miserable on the inside. I was dying on the inside because it was a life that I was told I was supposed to want, not a life that I decided that I wanted. The life I'm living now is the life that I want, the one I'm creating on purpose for myself because I chose it. I love the message. So there's this line. So there's the real world where we all, our poor souls live. And then there's Barbie land. And in Barbie land, there's a Black woman who's president. And the Supreme Court is all females. It's perfect. And so Barbie was confused when she got a blotch of cellulite. And her feet were going flat. And I love how they spoke to how fucking uncomfortable heels are. Because she was trying to get up to weird Barbie's house in her heels after her feet had gone flat. And she was like, oh my God, I would never wear these if my feet were flat. Ouch. Yeah, Barbie. Yeah. But weird Barbie was, giving her mission, her assignment. She needed to go find who is playing with her in real life, in the real world, and help them because the line between the person playing with Barbie and Barbie was getting muddled, and Barbie was feeling this person's feelings, and they were sad feelings. God forbid they were, a woman feels sad, or a woman questions her existence. Just gonna say, do you ever think about death? But Barbie was like, no, but we fixed everything. Everything's fine now because of Barbies. Women can do anything because of Barbies. We fixed everything. And then she went to the real world and realized, no, we did not fix everything yet. It's a lot better. It's a lot better than it was when Barbie first came into existence in the 50s, right? Because back then it was nearly impossible for a woman to get a divorce. She could not get birth control unless she was a married woman and her husband said it was okay for her to have birth control. And couldn't have her own bank account without her husband or some sort of mail. If you're not married, weird. But some sort of mail had to co-sign on the bank account and on her credit cards. That's where women were at when Barbie first came on the scene. So it's better than that, but we're not at Barbie land status yet, right? But this idea of we fixed everything, women can do anything, everything is equal now. This is the thought that's perpetuated. And it is a thought that I believed growing up until I was an adult myself. And I felt the effects of the idea that we're still fed, that I was fed, and that women are still fed to this day, that the pinnacle of our success is to be chosen by a man and to get married and live happily ever after. And being in the workforce and seeing men make more money than women still to this day, and men own more land than women. We're not there yet. And that, not to mention the invisible load that's still put on us in a heterosexual relationship. Women still do the mass majority of the housework and the taking care of the children. And actually, if both people work in the relationship, women tend to do even more. The percentage of all of that shit is even higher in those relationships. Riddle me this. I'm looking at my notes. So I just really appreciated, I appreciated the lens that this movie was putting on this issue and bringing it to light, because so many of us are like how all the Barbies in Barbie Land ended up at, towards the end of the movie when Ken came back and turned it into Kendom. What did he call it? Oh my God, his Mojo Dojo Casa House. I was dying. Ryan Gosling as Ken was perfection. You nailed it, dude. But all the Barbies in Barbie Land had been like brainwashed. Where was I going with this? I literally just lost my train of thought. I don't know where I was going with it. How all the Barbies are brainwashed towards the end of the movie, and they're, waiting on the men, and they're getting them beers, and happily letting the men take care of things because, it's actually really nice to not make decisions. Like, my brain was really tired. That's kind of where a lot of us are at, right? Like, we're all kind of stuck where the Barbies were towards the end of the movie, where they're all brainwashed, thinking that everything's fine. Everything's equal now. We fixed everything, and we're still getting the beers, and the government is still run mostly by men. Everything is still run mostly by men. What it looks like, the workforce, and what businesses look like, the structure for employees, it suits men who typically, historically, have not had to juggle the family life with the work life. We're still in transition, guys. So we still need to be aware of that. And that's what this movie was talking about. And I loved it so much. The boardroom of men at Mattel made me want to scream out loud. Because that is just the fucking irony of everything. This company that's meant to, its whole mission is to empower women, and women can do anything, and there isn't one fucking woman. There wasn't one fucking woman working in that whole building, except for the receptionist, who happened to be one of the main characters and was critical in waking all the Barbies up at the end. Thank you, America. Her monologue, oh God, chills, just chills. Her monologue on how fucking hard it is to be a woman. We're expected to do everything, but not too much. And we're expected to be pretty and sexy and want it, but not too much, because then you're a slut. And you can't, you need to show enough cleavage, but not too much cleavage. And all of this stuff. And she, broke into it because Barbie was just shitting on herself. And she's just like, I can't do this. I'm not special enough. I'm not enough. Barbie, she's perfect, right? She has everything. And she was sitting there completely distraught and depressed depressed Barbie. And we cut to the commercial of like depressed Barbie. I died. If they actually sell her, I'm buying it. I'm here. I'm saying it, Mattel. If you sell depressed Barbie, I will buy that shit so fast. That was so fucking funny. Anyways, back to the boardroom of men at Mattel. Drove me nuts. And Barbie was like, wait, can I speak to your CEO? Your CFO, your COO. All men? What is going on here? It's just like, and then Will Ferrell, who was the CEO, the CEO of Mattel, was just like, oh no, we love women. I love women. I came from a woman. We all love women here. It's just like when people say like, oh no, like I have a gay friend or a black friend or an Asian friend. Like I'm not homophobic or racist. Stop it. Like that scene was so on point. And I know it was so on point because it was so cringy. I was just wanting to crawl out of my skin because it's so fucking factual and what life is like. And then they wanted to put Barbie in a box. That was their answer. They're like, oh no, Barbie's in the real world. This is going to be really bad. The only solution is to get her to go in the box. It was such a very effective symbol of how the world treats powerful women with powerful ideas. They say, ooh, you're gonna like stir some shit up. You're too wild out in the open. A box with a label makes everyone feel more comfortable. So we're just going to put you into this box. You have to fit into this box. Otherwise, everybody's uncomfortable. Everyone's safer that way because then nothing changes and no one is challenged. So get in the box, Barbie. And she was tempted by it because the box is simple. It feels safer. It takes less energy on her part. It takes some stuff off her plate. But then she was in there and they were tightening those little things around her wrist. And suddenly she got claustrophobic and she jumped fucking out of there. Isn't that so true though? The world just wants to put you in a box that they can understand. That makes sense to this world that's been run by men since the beginning of time. Don't go in the box, Barbies. Don't do it. Run like hell. And do something else with your life. Literally anything else than go in the box. Please do not go into the box. I thought it was really interesting that weird Barbie and stereotypical Barbie were the only two Barbies who were not affected by whatever like brainwashing happened with the Kens in Kendom. And I was thinking like, does it have something to do with the fact that those two Barbies were not attached to or wanted to be attached to any of the Kens? Maybe that's it. I don't know, but I've been pondering that. So if you guys have another opinion on that, please let me know, right? That can be your review for this week's episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Write a comment on social media, DM me, email me. Let me know. I want a dialogue with someone about this because that was really fascinating to me. And when Barbie was having her mental breakdown, when she was depressed Barbie and she was just laying on the ground, first of all, the way that she fell over, because like she fell over like a doll, does, like the stiff Barbie, and just like the attention to detail for stuff like that, I just was eating it all up. But when she laid there, she was just like, I'm just going to lie here and wait for one of the more like career-oriented Barbies to fix all of this because I'm just stereotypical Barbie. I can't do this. Imposter syndrome munch? She was looking at herself as just stereotypical Barbie. But bitch, you're the one who started the revolution. It all started with stereotypical Barbie. But she forgot her power. She forgot who she was until someone reminded her of who she was. And enter America's really amazing monologue that just sent chills up my spine. But then even after they saved Barbie Land, and it was mostly due to the leadership of stereotypical Barbie, Ruth, who was the creator of Barbie, was talking to stereotypical Barbie and saying, look what you did. You're so amazing. And she was still imposter syndrome, just shrugging it off like, oh, I mean, that wasn't me. It was really a group effort. You know, they really saved themselves. And my heart just went out to her because she still couldn't see how incredible she was. And I see that in women every single day. You don't see how incredible you are. You don't see how you are the only one who could have done the things that you did. It wasn't anybody else. It was you. They needed you to be there to inspire everybody else into action. They needed you. Don't discount yourself. I also loved how they did touch on how Barbie Land wasn't totally perfect because the Kens didn't have a place. Their president, because who was it? Oh, it was Will Ferrell. He said, yay, now everything's back to normal. Everything's like good now. And the president was like, well, no, I mean, we need to fix this. There needs to be equality. Like, there needs to be a space for the Kens too. And when Barbie was talking to Ken at the very end of the movie, and he still was desperately in love with her because that's how he was made to be desperately in love with her. But she was never in love with him because she didn't choose him. He was the guy that someone else chose for her. And she was saying, you just need to figure out who Ken is. You need to just figure out how to just be Ken by yourself. And I need to just be Barbie. It was so beautiful because that's what a healthy relationship should look like. And they were modeling that for all the kids who are going to be watching this movie. They were modeling like, hey, look, a romantic relationship is not the pinnacle of success. It is not the ultimate form of happiness. You have to be happy on your own. And I have to be happy on my own. And then if we want to, we can be in a relationship that's healthy because we're providing our own happiness. I love that they didn't make her breakup with stereotypical Ken about her being in love with another Ken. It was just her saying, hey, look, I just want to be on my own. I just want to figure out Barbie. And I think you should figure out Ken. Thank you. Thank you. It doesn't have to be about just, I'm breaking up with you because I realize that I'm in love with someone else or I want to be in this relationship instead. It's just, I'm breaking up with you because I don't want to be in a relationship. And have that be okay. You guys, that's so profound. That is so profound that that's where media is moving. Because if you look at all of the rom-coms, I am a fan of rom-coms. I love a good rom-com. I'm not here to diss rom-coms. But they gave us all this message of you got to be in a romantic relationship. And that's what's going to cause your happiness. And that's not true. It's not true. And if you need your relationship to make you happy, you're putting a lot of pressure on your partner, a lot of really unfair pressure on your partner. It's not their job to make you happy. It's your job to make you happy. And thank you, Barbie. Thank you, Barbie, for saying that message in a movie. You guys, they ended the movie not with Barbie taking over the world, not with Barbie becoming the CEO of Mattel, not with her doing anything extraordinary, other than the very extraordinary choice that she made at the end to go to the human world and be a human, even though it was going to mean that she was going to have negative feelings as well as positive feelings. Not every day was going to be perfect. Even though it was going to mean that she was going to die one day. Death makes the living mean so much more. And she understood that. And she stood there and she was thinking about all of the feelings she was going to be feeling. And she said, yeah, I want that. I want that. And Ruth asked her, well, what are you going to do? And she said, I don't really know. I don't really know. I just know that I want to live my life for myself. And I want to be the one who comes up with the ideas instead of being someone else's idea. I literally was like choking back tears. I'm choking back tears again right now talking about it. They let her story end with, she's just ordinary Barbie now. She's America's ordinary Barbie. She's just a woman who is going to live her life with reckless abandon every day, and she doesn't have a plan, and that's okay. It's okay that she doesn't have a plan. Her only plan is to live her life and to figure out who Barbie is on her own and to create her own happiness instead of letting someone else create it for her every day. It was so beautiful. And that is the kind of message that I want my girls to have. That's the kind of choice that I want them to be able to make. Because our generation has been stuck with, you either have to, you have like two choices. You can like have that traditional role where you're a wife and you're a mom, or you are career-oriented. You're career-oriented Barbie. And you have to be super ambitious and you have to like get straight A's and get all the promotions and fucking kick ass. And there's nothing in between. But now there is something in between. And per usual, Barbie is paving the way. I loved the Barbie movie. It was perfect. It's the message that we all need right now. It's the mirror that we all needed right now to remind us of how far we've come and how far we still have yet to go. And how it's all up to us. It's all our choice. We get to choose, you guys. We get to choose what we want to do with our lives. And if we haven't been living the life that we chose up until this point, you get to change that. You're not stuck. You're not stuck in your dream house. You can walk away. You can walk away and dive into the unknown, even if it's scary, even if you don't have a plan other than to just live. Isn't that so beautiful? I want to know what you thought of the Barbie movie. Let me know in a review, in a comment on my social media, an email. Let me know. Let's start a discussion. about all of this. If anything bothered you when you were watching the movie, do some self-reflection. Ask yourself why. Why did that bother me? It's okay to notice your programming. You don't have to shame yourself about it. And we also don't have to fight about it, right? If you watched the movie and you hated it and you want to keep that thought, that's fine. It's fine. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. You get to keep that thought, and I get to keep my thoughts that it was amazing and it brought me to tears. And we can all coexist happily with our different thoughts, because that's what freedom actually is. The ability to choose what we want to think, how we want to feel, and the lives that we want to live. And everything is neutral. Everything is neutral. And when you realize that and you really let that sink in, it makes relationships with other people so much easier. That is a whole other podcast, though. For now, I'm going to end it here. Go see the Barbie movie if you haven't, and let me know what you thought. Whether you hated it or you loved it or you're just kind of like in between neutral, let me know. And, just a reminder, if you show any love to the podcast through a review or a share or a comment or a like on social media, anything, you get entered into my monthly book raffle and Starbucks gift card giveaway. That's kind of a tongue twister for no reason. So all of those things help with the algorithms, so that way my little podcast can grow and other moms who need this space, they need this space to be told, to this safe space where they can be told, like, hey, you can do whatever the fuck you want with your life, no matter what age you're at. And here are some tools for you. And let's think outside the box here. They can find me. Okay, that's what it's all about. Just sharing the love. If you like this podcast, please help me grow it. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Are you living your one wild life to the fullest? You're not? Why the fuck not? What are you waiting for? The time to live is now, mama. Do not wait until your youngest is in college. Let your dreams hire me for an hour so I can explain how I can help you achieve any goal in your life. You've put yourself off long enough. It's time to pour into you. The link to schedule your 60-minute complimentary consultation is in my show notes. Join the community of Fuck It Moms by following me on Instagram and Facebook at Fuck It Mothering. That's fuck without the U. So FCK It Mothering. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you never miss your weekly encouragement. And please rate, review, comment, and share. All of these things help with the algorithms, so that way when other overwhelmed moms are looking for encouragement, they can find me. Every month, I give away one of my favorite books and a Starbucks card to a lucky winner. All you have to do to enter is write a review or tag me in social media when you share an episode. See you next Sunday, gorgeous.